You know, in the world of AI, we've always had this one big problem. How do we get from a cool but kind of fragile party trick to a truly reliable teammate? Well, a massive partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI is finally about to bridge that gap. And trust me, this isn't just another headline. This is about a deep, fundamental shift in how you get your work done.
And no, that is not an exaggeration. The changes being unlocked right now are designed for immediate impact. We are officially moving past AI as this fun little thing you mess with on a weekend. We're stepping into a new era where it's a capable, dependable teammate you can count on, starting like this Monday.
So let's really dig into this shift, right? From party trick to teammate. For the last year or so, we've watched AI get incredibly smart, but actually using it for serious business, that's been tough. It's been more of a cool demo than a colleague you can rely on. This partnership changes all that. It rewrites the rules of trust and reliability, finally making AI ready for the big leagues.
I mean, this slide just nails the before and after, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got that fragile party trick. You know the one. It looks incredible in a demo, but it completely falls apart if you look at it the wrong way. That's for weekend tinkering. But on the right, that's the dependable teammate. It's predictable, it plays by the rules, and it's built to help you crush that pile of work waiting for you on Monday morning.
So, how do we make that jump from one to the other? It's all about building a solid foundation of trust. This whole deal lays out clear rules of the road. Predictable compute just means you're not guessing anymore. You have guaranteed access to the power you need. And the fact that OpenAI is a public benefit corp, that literally writes safety and responsibility into their DNA. This is the stuff, the governance, you need to confidently take this to your boss, your board, or your clients. Okay, so this all brings us to the main event. AI agents. You've probably heard the term thrown around a lot. So let's just strip away all the buzzwords and take a really simple, practical look at what an agent actually is and how it gets things done. At its core, this is all an AI agent is. You give it a goal, it figures out a plan, it uses the software you already use every day, shows you what it did, and this is key, it waits for your thumbs up. The huge leap forward here isn't that it can, write an email. It's that it can decide to open your spreadsheet, clean up the data, make a chart, drop that chart into a presentation, and then draft the email to send it out. It's about managing the entire workflow.
And this is how it works. It's core loop. It starts with you. You give it the goal. The agent then breaks that goal down into smaller, manageable steps. Then it actually does the work, right out in the open, not in some mysterious black box. And finally, the most important step, it brings the results back to you for approval. You're the editor-in-chief here. The agent learns from your corrections, getting smarter and more helpful every single time.
The Lego analogy is honestly the perfect way to think about this, especially when it comes to safety. Imagine each of your company's tools, your finance app, your CRM, your presentation software, offers a set of safe, pre-approved actions. Think of them like individual Lego bricks. The agent doesn't get to invent new bricks. It just gets really, really good at snapping the approved ones together to build something useful for you. It never goes outside the lines.
Okay, enough with the theory. It's cool, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a few examples of workflows you could literally start building today. Let's start with a solo content creator. Instead of that Monday morning panic trying to figure out what to post, what if they could just give an agent a single goal? The agent dives into their analytics, sees what's popular, drafts a whole week's worth of content based on that, and even puts it on the calendar. All of a sudden, their job isn't about frantically typing, it's about providing that final, thoughtful review. What a game changer. Or think about a finance analyst. They get handed this messy pile of invoices and purchase orders. The agent can do all that tedious prep work, formatting data, flagging anything that looks weird, building out summary tables. This frees up the human analyst to use their actual brain power on the tricky stuff, the edge cases, instead of just mind-numbing copy and paste work. So, what's the real-world impact of all this? Well, it starts with a number. Just one number, 15%.
And what does 15% actually mean? Well, if you can cut down the prep time on your weekly tasks by a pretty conservative 15%, it adds up fast. We're talking about getting an entire extra workday back every single month. I mean, just think for a second about what you could do with an extra day every month.
But look, none of these amazing productivity gains mean a thing if the security team slams on the brakes and says, no way. So we have to talk about the trust factor.
Let's tackle the big security questions head on, because answering them is how we unlock this at work. The good news is, this isn't being rolled out carelessly. For every big risk, there's a smart mitigation. You're worried the agent might go rogue and email the wrong person? We solve that by tightly scoping its actions and requiring a human to approve key steps. Worried it'll access data it shouldn't? That's what role-based permissions and hard stops are for. And what if you need to know exactly what it did? It's all right there in unchangeable logs.
Honestly, when you go to talk to your IT or security folks, it really just boils down to these 4 words: visibility, permissions, escalation, and logs. Can we see what it's doing? Can we control what it's allowed to do? Is there a clear plan for when things go sideways? And is there a permanent record of everything? These new enterprise-grade agents are built from the ground up to get a yes on all 4 questions.
So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold, but how do I actually start? This isn't some sci-fi technology that's 5 years away. Here is a super practical 90-day roadmap to take this from an interesting idea to a daily habit in your own work. Month 1, you just pilot. Pick one workflow that's low risk but a high pain point and just see how much time you save. Month 2, you expand. Bring in a couple more teams, create a simple one-page policy, start doing some quick audits. And by month 3, you're ready to scale. You publish your playbook for others and start connecting more systems to automate the whole process. It's that classic crawl, walk, run approach. Totally doable.
And as you start doing this, you're going to notice your own roles starting to change. You'll spend way less time on the actual doing and a lot more time directing the traffic. Your new job description is basically framing clear goals, getting really good at spotting errors, and teaching the system what a great outcome looks like. You're shifting from being a doer to being a director.
So that's the big picture. This whole shift isn't about replacing people. It's about elevating them. It's about changing the very definition of knowledge work. We are all moving from a world of type and click to a new world of describe and approve. And really, the only question left to ask is, are you ready for it?